There is a lot that Infamous Second Son brings to the table, mainly involving our protagonist Delsin Rowe, who overall has great character development, interesting powers to play around with, and a strong relationship with those around him. All of this is brought on by its choice to use a karma system to determine which version of Delsin Rowe we'll play as. In the grand scheme of things, and as we mentioned in our review, Delsin's evil side as far as character choices and interactions go doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We learn who he is early on, and the choices he makes on the evil playthrough don't really speak to him as a character. Today, I want to discuss the value in creating a system with multiple playthroughs and the way that Infamous Second Son sadly takes it one step back, regardless if one side of the story is actually pretty good. So as we've discussed, and as you should already know by now, the Infamous series is meant to be played through twice. Once while playing the good side, and then going back through and playing as the evil side, or vice versa. As long as the gameplay is solid, the storyline makes sense, and the systems make sense for the characters, then this is an amazing way to create replay value for your game. And there's a surprising amount of games that have their own spin on this. Dishonored gives players the option to play with or without killing anyone. Until Dawn gives players choices that cause butterfly effects in the story, and the Mass Effect series gives you options that can affect entire races of aliens. While some of them have shades of gray to them, Mass Effect being the biggest example, Infamous Second Son keeps things pretty black and white when it comes to choices. You are presented with a choice, like the first one we see, where you choose to give yourself up or let the tribe suffer. It's disappointing when you find out that they're going to be tortured regardless of which path you choose. And then you'll notice the story doesn't take many changes throughout the 15-hour narrative. Almost all decisions in Infamous are pointless. The tribe will still get tortured, the choices with Abigail and Eugene don't change anything but the immediate mission that follows, and there's no consequence for letting Hank live. The story tries to take the typical approach of power corrupts, then creates a character that doesn't feel like he's going to be corrupted. At no point did I feel like his evil actions made any sense whatsoever. If the story is going to make an impact and justify there being choices to make in the game, then there needs to be some pretty difficult choices to make overall. A good way to make the story have some sort of importance to players is by giving the player rewards or benefits from choosing a side. The game dabbles in this a little bit by offering some abilities based on karmic alignment, like easier submissions with the good side or headshot killing enemies quicker with the evil side, but this small change doesn't necessarily warrant a second playthrough. An interesting take would be to offer players power strictly based off of their choices, then make those choices more of a grayish area instead of strictly black and white. Maybe there's a situation where Delsin has to save Hank or save Eugene, the obvious choice being Eugene. But Hank has information that is important to taking down Augustine. Making either choice would be reasonable for Delsin, but making that choice would reward you by giving you only one of their power sets, locking the other out from that playthrough. If players saved Hank and gained the smoke ability, then they would have to replay the game again to save Eugene in order to try out his video powers. Maybe halfway through the story you can either save an entire group of people and gain a movement-based ability, or let them die and now you have stronger attacks overall. Don't give me options that don't mean anything in a story that doesn't care for its characters. Instead, give me tricky scenarios that give me limited time to decide and reward me for making that decision. On top of that, my choices need to be more independent of one another, but all add up to make a completely unique ending. I know that's a lot of work, but don't offer the illusion that my choices matter and then create an ending based off of the last choice that I make. Have there be an ending where Delsin loses and Augustine imprisons him, or she loses and Delsin takes her place. Keep Eugene on the side of good, and if you stray too far into being evil, then he betrays you. Then you can either kill him or spare him, which creates an entirely unique ending based off of just that choice. Doing something along these lines would give every single character a better dynamic, make them more three-dimensional. Right now, only Delsin, Reggie, and Augustine have any depth to them, and sometimes that can be a stretch. Creating this Until Dawn-like butterfly effect would be extremely beneficial to the game's replay value, and create a story that has emotional decisions that actually affect the world around you. It just feels pointless to string the player along with the promise that their choices make a difference when they clearly don't. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to our channel and make sure you like this video and watch more Update 101.